shows how much of a threat black men are that stand up for truth and are not afraid to stand up and speak the truth. Now all them brothers there, they was on the basketball team, this and that, dating white girls. All the white girls liked them. All of them liked them. But they couldn't stand me. Couldn't stand my guts because I wasn't bowing down to the system. I wasn't going along to get along. So they did not like me. So it was a very, very rough ride for me. Even in the classrooms, every paper that I had to write, I revolved it around either spirituality or black consciousness. So I even had even though I was following all the rules, following all the guidelines, even the professors didn't like me because they seen it was something different about me, and they seen I wasn't just some Negro there going along to get along. So I was a marked man from the door, but I held my ground. I held my ground. These brothers tripped me out just going along to get along. We are not on this earth to make people happy. We are on this earth to serve God and to speak and live truth. And those who think like you and are striving to be a child of God, they will love you. They won't just like you, they will love you. But we got a lot of brothers and some sisters too going along to get along. That's not me. And that ain't what that channel stands for. I'm not here to make people happy. I'm here to speak the truth. All right. So now to get to the topic, because I said I wouldn't be long tonight. 23 years ago today, God sent me an angel in the form of a human being. So it was this white girl that was on campus there, because we was at an all-white college there in Alvernia, in Reading, anyone just tuning in. And she was supposedly like the darling or the queen of the college. I ain't think so at all. I was not impressed with her. She was filthy rich, and her father was this big Supreme Court judge in what they call Berks County there in Reading. Had a lot of power. Her whole family was very powerful. Everyone knew her. And the few black boys or young black men that was at the school, all of them wanted her, chasing after her. Hey, Ruth, don't you think she's fine? This and that. No, I don't think none of these women are fine unless they wanted the sisters. Just my opinion. All right. So she knew I wasn't, in the clique, so to speak, even though I was with the brothers, because there was no one else there black. Them bowing down and chasing after these white women and stuff, I wasn't going for it. That just wasn't me. I don't hate no one. I just love black women. I think it's nothing like them. And our Latino sisters are beautiful too. I just think it's nothing like a black woman. I love the way she walks, the way she talks. You can get a dark one, a chocolate one, a red bone one, tall and thick, short and thick, slender, whatever you want in a black woman. We got it. I just don't get it. But to each his own. So this woman, this white girl, rich, filthy rich. Everyone knew her on campus, and she thought she was God's gift to the earth. Okay, and all the brothers, even on the basketball team, was. Rest in peace to Prodigy. Rest in peace to Craig Mack. I don't know what happened to the brother, but rest in peace to these brothers. There's too many of our brothers signing out of here under suspicious circumstances. Go to my channel and look up the mysterious death of Sam Cooke, Jimi Hendrix, and Bob Marley. I talked about their mysterious deaths, Tupac's mysterious death, Michael Jackson's mysterious death, and Prince's mysterious death on the Hour of Power. Anyway, rest in peace to those brothers. So this white girl thought she was God's gift to the planet, right? So one day, now this was back in the mid 90s when I was in college. We didn't have cell phones and Facebook and Instagram and all that. So I had me a little chippy, a sister of course, right across town at Penn State Berks campus. That was maybe about 10 miles away from Reading. Had me a little sister over there that I used to rap to. So back then, again, wasn't no cell phones, so you had to use a payphone. And since this was a Catholic college, they had the girls' dorms and the boys' dorms. The phone in the men's dorm wasn't working, so I walked over to the girls' dorm. It was no sign that said you weren't allowed to use the phone. So it was a payphone. I put my little corners in there so I can call my little babe over the way. A sister, of course. She's an African sister too. Beautiful. So I pick up the phone. I call her. I'm rapping to her. We kicking it and whatever. This woman, if you want to call her that, comes in the door. She thinks everything is hers, and she says, yeah, Shareef, I'm giving you 2 minutes to get off the phone because I need to use the phone. I'm like, you can't be talking to me. I put my money in the phone. I'm talking on the phone, and when I get done, then you can get on the phone. You ain't supposed to be over here anyway. I'm like, whatever. Before I know it, she hits the dial tone and hangs up the phone as I'm talking to my queen at that time. Me trying to be a calm person, I said, don't do that again. And this was back in the day again where you had to use pay phones. So I had to put, quarters in there. So I put my quarters back in there, and the sister over the way was like, what happened? I said, this demon done lost her mind and hung up the phone. So I'm talking again. She comes back outside her room and says, I'm giving you a minute, Shareef, and you better hang up that phone or else. I was like, else what? I ignore her. I thought she's going to go away. She hangs up the phone again while I'm talking to this sister. I lost it. Now, let me make something clear. I do not condone putting your hands on a woman. You've heard me speak on this again. Any woman. I didn't hit her. Let's just say I gave her a little shaken baby syndrome. That's what I did. I gave her a little shaken baby syndrome to wake her up out of her sleep or slumber or whatever goddamn drugs she was on and let her know you ain't going to disrespect me. I may only be 150 pounds, but this is a man here. This is what makes you a man. Not what's all this, it's what's here. I said, you ain't going to disrespect me that way. And I let her go, and then she slapped my glasses off my face and broke my glasses. So I had to give her a little more shaken baby syndrome. Of course, but her little white friends made it seem like I took a machete or Michael Myers machete something and chopped her head off. They ran and went and got the administration, went and got the nuns and the fathers and the priests and all that. Broke up the little melee. Called the police on your brother. Now, I've never been in trouble in my life. I ain't say I never did nothing wrong, but I've never been in trouble in my life. So they go, supposed to get my side of the story, get her side of the story. You know how this is going to play out. Then the police come. This tall white man comes. He goes to her, of course, tells her, you go over there and sit down. That's what he says to me, but talks to her all kind. The white girl that slapped my glasses off my face, hung the phone up on me twice when she had no right to do that, slapped my glasses off my face, broke my glasses, broke them, right? Gets her side of the story. So I'm thinking, so he walks, he had her like on the other end of the hallway, and I was on the other end, sitting there trying to get myself together. The brothers were being supportive. It was there. They was like, Reef, man, this ain't gonna play out too good. You at a Catholic school, this girl got money. I said, man, I ain't worried about that. She broke my glasses. She hung up the phone. Brothers like, man, they don't care about that, man. They don't play that. You are at a white school. What was you thinking? I said, well, it's done now, man. So he walks down the hall. I'm thinking to come get my side of the story. And I was just sitting down up against the wall. He said, get up and turn around. I said, for what? He said, you're under arrest for assault on a female. I said, sir, you're not going to listen to my side of the story? He said, I got your side of the story from her. I said, no, my side of the story. He said, like I said, turn around. I'm taking you downtown. And if you say one more thing, I'm going to arrest you for insubordination of a government official, of a police officer. I said, for the love of God. I had another brother there. His name was Abdul Shabazz. He was Muslim by name, but I don't know what he was into. I'm not allowed to say someone ain't a Muslim. Let's just say he wasn't a practicing Muslim. He comes up to me. This brother's 6'5". He's twice my size. And he says, hey, man, you're going to need this. Now, of course, I can't fit his clothes. This big old jacket. And at this time, it was nice out. It was like working on summertime, even though it was spring. He said, you're going to need this. I said, for what? He said, it gets kind of cold in themselves, man. He said, I've been there before. I said, man, I really needed to hear that. He said, you going to jail, bro. He said, man, this white girl got money. Man, he cuffs me. So with us being in a college, especially a Catholic college, they took me up to the administration building so the school could actually sign me over almost like I'm a child to the custody of the police. And no one in the school spoke up for me or anything. None of them really came to get my side of the story. These same professors, these same nurses, not nurses, but the same priests that I was getting into it with in the classroom and different things, they was like, maybe you need this, Mr. Hamid, to wake you up. You're a little radical. This may be a good lesson for you. I said, for the love of God. So Abdul Shabazz was like, yeah, man, you're going to need this jacket. You going downtown. I've never been in jail before, never been in trouble before. So I started reaching out to the Most High. I said, God, you know best. It is what it is. I'm just going to be strong. So he starts walking me to the car. Of course, the cop car is outside. Got me cuffed. Didn't hear my side of the story. Just got her side of the story. Never mind that I was minding my own business. I didn't break any rules. I didn't break any laws. It was no sign that said I couldn't be on that wing, even though it was a girl's wing, because I wasn't in that room. I was just using the payphone. No rule that says you couldn't do that. What did I do wrong? Other than I know what I did wrong. I challenged white privilege. I challenged white privilege. That's what I did wrong. So no officials there spoke up and said, wait a minute, how did this man's glasses get broke? The brothers told him that I was on the phone and she hung up the phone on me twice. That didn't matter. I'm going to jail. So he's getting ready to put me in jail out of nowhere. God sent me my angel. Out of nowhere, when this demon, this white cop out to put me in the car, didn't hear my side of the story, another cruiser pulls up. I said, uh-oh, here comes another demon. Out comes a car, a Latino brother, a cop. And I could hear him on the CB saying, yeah, I got the call first about an assault, talking about me supposedly assaulting this white girl. But I had another call to come to, yeah, I'm here on site. I'm like, oh, well, how's this going to turn out? He's going to add to it or whatever. So he starts asking the white cop what happened. And he said, oh, yeah, he's going downtown talking about me. He said, but guess what? He's going to have some company. You're going too. Talking about the white girl. You would have thought she saw a ghost. She said, excuse me? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, I talked to some of the young men over here, some of the brothers that was with me, and I got the full story. I understand that it sounds like you were the aggressor. And what happened to this man's glasses? Oh, I don't know. He said, you don't know? He said, I advise you to tell the truth. He said, I understand you slapped the man's glasses off his face. Well, he shouldn't have put his hands on me. He said, no, this sounds like mutual combat. He said, so both of you are going downtown. He said, turn around. You're going downtown too. You're under arrest. Do you know who my father is? My father is a Supreme Court judge. He said, I don't give a damn. He said, well, if he's a judge, he should know that this is obviously mutual combat and both of y'all are going downtown. He said, the only way you can get out of this is if you drop the charges. She said, I will not. He said, well, like I said, I'm going to ask you one more time or you're going to be arrested for insubordination of a police officer. Turn around or you drop the charges and we just call it a night. She thought she saw ghost. She couldn't believe it. White privilege was crushed right on there. That's the angel. All praises due to God that I'm talking about. This Latino brother. If it wasn't for him, ain't no telling what would happen to me and why this is so deep. This may sound trivial or small to someone else. Do you know I work in the school system? I'm a mental health therapist. I'm a counselor now. You can't have nothing on your record working in the school system, working in mental health. You can't have nothing on your record. They was going to hit me up with an assault charge. And then he talked about he was going to get me for insubordination of a police officer because I kept saying to him, why aren't you going to hear my side of the story? Man, it's hard enough getting a job with a clean record, more or less that. On my record, I would have had a misdemeanor charge. And even if I wouldn't have did jail time, that would have been on my record. But God sent me my angel. That Latino brother, then after she came to her senses and got off whatever them damn drugs she was on, of course, she went and talked to the other cop and said, oh, drop the charges. I can't believe this. Wait till my father gets a hold of you. He said, your father ain't going to do a damn thing to me. This brother was bold, this Latino brother. If he wouldn't have came, what would have happened? I was just a young man. And I would have had that on my record. A misdemeanor assault charge and Lord knows what else. I did not stand a chance. In a white school, a black man, a Muslim, and outspoken, right? I wasn't bowing down. So they had it out for me and no one to speak up for me. And them brothers, even though they did go and tell the police officer what happened, they were shaking like a leaf. They weren't really, I don't know how much they would have spoke up for me. So I was basically a lone wolf. But if that Latino brother wouldn't have came and set the record straight, and after the dust cleared, he came up to me and said, let me talk to you, young man. He said, do you know where you are? Do you realize where you are? He said, you ain't in Philly or New York. He said, I don't know where you're from. He said, man, you got to realize where you are. He said, calm down and think before you act. He said, if I wouldn't have came here, you know where you were going. I said, man, I can't thank you enough. And now that I know the criminal justice system, now that I have more wisdom than what I have now,